Hello everybody, this is the Wikstrand. So movies from United States, they come from Hollywood. Movies from India, they come from Bollywood. And movies from Nigeria, well, they come of course from apparently Nollywood. And today marked the occasion of my first review of a Nigerian movie. Now, I don't know if this movie is a classical Nigerian movie or not. I don't know if this is representative to, a classical story and classical execution of a movie from Nigeria, or if this breaks the mold in so many ways. I do know that I have become much more interested in Nigerian food, I must say, because there was a lot of very yummy things in this movie, except of course for the things that our heroine is trying to cook for, her crazy mother-in-law, or would-be mother-in-law, when she, invades her house. But we'll get to that in a second. It's time to take a look at a movie called Namaste Wahala. His parents are very keen on her getting married because her father, who is a big shot lawyer, wants somebody to take over the firm one day, and he really wants to have a son that can carry on the legacy and stuff like that. She's not really into this, doesn't really have a boyfriend and stuff like that, and values more her working for her daddy at sort of a side project with abusive women and stuff like that, and women who are in abusive relationships and stuff like that, a sort of side gig, more of a charity work rather than thing that actually makes money. But one day she meets Raj, a Indian who lives here in Nigeria, and they instantly fall in love, and they're planning on their life together and stuff like that. But there is a problem. His mother in India goes absolutely batshit insane and flies over to try to talk her son into calling off the whole thing, and her dad becomes incredibly unlikable and wants her to break off the whole thing for a variety of reasons, mostly related to him being an Indian man and not a Nigerian man. And so now she's kind of stuck here. At the same time as this is happening, she also has this very big case going on, because there is a woman who has been beaten up in a hotel room by her boyfriend, who unfortunately is also tied to a very important partner of her dad, which could potentially put his entire law firm in jeopardy. He wants her essentially to bury the entire case, to get rid of the whole thing, so everything can go back to status quo. She doesn't want to do this, and the conflicts in the family just escalate. How is this going to end? Are they going to get each other in the end? Are they going to be able to throw together a fantastic Indian-Nigerian party? Are they going to be able to prove that he has done all these horrible things? Is the two families going to be able to unite over this thing? We shall see. Now, this movie has a couple of things kind of working against itself, and it might be because I don't understand the culture of how a classical Nigerian movie is made. I haven't seen that many. I think I've seen 3 or 4 Nigerian movies all in all. I think this is the best one I've seen without having the numbers in front of me, but I think that is the case. One thing this movie has that is a little bit problematic is the thing that it kind of lacks focus, because we're not spending that much time actually with our two lovebirds. It is a bit too much courtroom cases and investigations going on and stuff like that. So that is kind of a thing that makes this movie a little bit unfocused. We also have a problem with that this movie is kind of a chore to get through it. It moves at an absolute snail's pace, which unfortunately also is a problem, because sometimes and not enough time are spent with certain things, and sometimes it kind of rushed by. But sometimes they do think that they have the time to have an entire song and dance number that you would have had in a Bollywood movie. It's not as good as it would have been in an Indian movie, but they're doing the best they can to the best of their abilities, I guess. There is also the struggle of who is the most unlikable character of the parents, because her dad is an absolute monster, and his mom is a batshit insane bitch who comes and basically invades poor old Didi's house and turns it into an absolute chaos. That thing could have been a lot funnier than it was, because this movie essentially is a romantic comedy just without the comedy. We do have, her best friend, who is a pretty promiscuous and outliving woman, and she's kind of working in the same way as you would have in a romantic comedy, but there is very few sequences that is legitimately funny. There are these sequences that I think is supposed to be funny, but they fail really to make me laugh, maybe because of, the entire thing of, the poor woman who has been beaten up at the hotel and all that good stuff. And this movie kind of drags itself through its pretty predictable ending, but we do have a couple of things that really, really works, because we have two fantastic main characters. Raj and Didi are so likable, and it is the eternal struggle on who is more handsome. My God, he's so fucking handsome. Jesus Christ, she's so fucking hot. And you really hope that they're gonna end up together. And there are these moments also in this movie that really tugs on the heartstrings and really makes you go, oh, that is so good. And you're really invested in what's going to happen. But I think this movie could have been so much better if it could have been either a full-on romantic comedy with shenanigans and silly nonsense, or if it could have been a full-on courtroom drama about the entire thing with the abused woman and stuff like that. They do try to wiggle this thing into the romantic plot line, which they sort of pulls off, but it is a little bit unfocused in my opinion. But they also do have a finale that I think is absolutely fantastic, with the end line between two characters that I think was absolutely fantastic. Spot on, the best thing in the entire movie. It comes just after the credits start rolling, and I was like, oh yes, that is so good, I thought when I saw this movie. In the end, do I recommend Namaste Wahala? Yes, I do actually recommend it. It does have its problem, but the characters are very likable, and the story is okay. The pacing is a problem, and the focus is also a problem, but in the end, I'm glad I saw it. Even though it could have been better, I still think this was a more than decent movie. The movie has pretty good acting. One or two jokes actually works, and you are very invested in what's going to happen with both their love story and the domestic violence case. I give Namaste Wahala 48 points. I don't know if this is considered a good, great, decent or mediocre Nigerian movie, but as I've said, I'm curious to see more of them. So we'll see you next time for so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.